Hello, this is Ron Paul with your weekly update for Monday, February 9th. If I were still a practicing ob-gyn and one of my patients said she was not going to vaccinate her child, I might have tried to persuade her to change her mind. But if I were unsuccessful, I would have respected her decision. I certainly would not have lobbied the government to pass a law mandating that children be vaccinated even if the child's parents object. Sadly, the recent panic over the outbreak of measles has led many Americans, including some self-styled libertarians, to call for giving government new powers to force all children to be vaccinated. Those who are willing to make an exception to the principle that parents should make health care decisions for their children should ask themselves when in history has a limited infringement of individual liberty stayed limited. By ceding the principle that individuals have the right to make their own health care decisions, supporters of mandatory vaccines are opening the door for future infringements on health freedom. If government can mandate that children receive vaccines, then why shouldn't the government mandate that adults receive certain types of vaccines? And if it's the law that individuals must be vaccinated, then why shouldn't police officers be empowered to physically force resistors to receive a vaccine? If the fear of infections from the unvaccinated justifies mandatory vaccines laws, then why shouldn't police officers fine or arrest people who don't wash their hands or cover their nose or mouth or when they cough or sneeze? Why not force people right into vitamins in order to lower their risk of contracting infectious disease? These proposals may seem outlandish, but they are no different in principle from the proposal that government forces children to be vaccinated. By giving vaccine companies a captive market, mandates encourage these companies to use political influence to expand the amount and number of vaccine mandates. An example of how vaccine mandates may have led politics to override sound science is from my home state of Texas. In 2007, the then Texas governor signed an executive order forcing 11 and 12-year-old girls to receive the human papillomavirus vaccine, even though most young girls are not at risk of HPV. The Texas legislature passed legislation undoing the order following a massive public outcry fueled by revelation that the governor's former chief of staff was a top lobbyist for the company that manufactured the HPV vaccine. The same principles that protect the right to refuse vaccines also protect the right of individuals to refuse to associate with the unvaccinated. Private property owners have the right to forbid those who reject vaccines from entering their property. This right extends to private businesses' concerns that unvaccinated individuals could not pose a risk to their employees and customers. Consistent application of the principles of private property, freedom of association, and individual responsibility is the best way to address concerns that those who refuse vaccines should be able to infect others with disease. Giving the government the power to override parental decision regarding vaccines will inevitably lead to further restrictions on liberty. After all, if government can override parental or personal health care decisions, then what area of our lives is off limits to government interference? Concerns about infection from the unvaccinated can be addressed by consistent application of the principles of private property and freedom of association. Instead of justifying new government intrusion into our lives, the vaccine debate provides more evidence of the need to restore respect for private property and individual liberty. Thanks for calling this update. A new update is placed on this number, 888-322-1414 every Sunday. The written text can be found on my Ron Paul Institute website at www.ronpaulinstitute.org and on my Facebook page. Thanks for calling.